So the last exercise is to write two applications that are going to send information or data to each other. So for that, we're going to write two applications. One is called the JSON listener, the other one is the JSON sender. And the JSON listener would listen to a specific port, and it would be listening to receive JSON objects. Once it receives it, it's going to print it on the screen. So how does it work? Just like before, we use the Express package, we use the IP package, and then you listen to port 4000, and then we're going to tell the Express package that be careful of the JSON objects that you may receive. So these are some parameters for that. And so the Express package would actually listen to post commands on /JSON, and if it receives them, it would actually print them on a screen. And then we're going to send back another JSON object saying JSON listener says okay, and this is JSON objects because it's placed into these two curly brackets. So every 5 seconds or so, it would actually write listening just to tell us that the application is still on and still listening. So if you go to the JSON sender, so the JSON sender also works this way. We use another package called the Axio, and the Axio is here again. If you go to this npm and we write Axio, it will tell us how to install it, how to use it, and also offer some examples also. So listen to this. So here we're going to make 3 JSON objects, or JSON A, JSON B, which are objects, and the JSON array, which is an array of objects. So JSON A, JSON B, array of objects. And then here is a command that we're going to use. So it's Axio post, send the post command to the URL listener, and the URL listener is localhost 4000 on /JSON, which is here, 4000 /JSON. And so this is going to send. So the sender, so once you do that, the sender would actually print this JSON listener says okay, and the listener would print the name that it has received. To make it more elegant, we're going to write a simple function called function send Axio post, and we get a URL, and we get a dot object, and then so we put this part inside this code, and basically what it says, it posted, and it would wait for the reply. If the reply comes, whenever it comes, it would print it on the screen, and if there's an error, it would actually print on the screen as well. And now we're going to use our function instead of this one, instead of the original function, which is quite lengthy. We're going to use our object. So we can set send Axio post JSON B, and we're going to say, so we can also send, we don't even need to have a variable, we can actually send direct data, like send Axio post name. So we basically make an immediate JSON object. We can even send the JSON array for that. So for example, if we do this, if we send this, the sender will print message okay, and the listener would print this. And if we do the array one, the sender would say message okay, and the listener would write this one. So let's go and try this code and then see how it works. So first thing first, we need to make package again. So to test the code, we need to first make a package. So I need all 3 packages, 2 for the listener and 1 for the sender. Now I'm going to run the code. Listener, now it's listening to this port, and every 5 seconds it would say I'm still listening, I'm still listening. JSON sender, and here it is. So these are all the prints. So the first one is when we use the Axio command directly, and the second one is when we put the Axio command inside the function that we defined. And now we're going to use the function now. So here is sending an object, here is sending an immediate object, and here is sending an array. And as you can see, every time the JSON listener receives this, it will reply with message JSON listener says okay. So you also notice that I have 2 terminals now, so it can be easily done by clicking on this button, and I can actually open another one, or I can just delete it and I can have